that didn't continue to broadcast through the entire portion there, that I was offbeat and offline. Forgot one of the SD cards that needed to be in to produce this morning. Anyhow, I won't take up a ton of your time this morning because we got a lot on the training video that will follow this up, so make sure you visit the link and check it out as soon as we are up and on board and going here. So to back up a little bit, we've been doing this series on Monday Motivation, which we're going to continue 7:30 every morning, broadcasting here on Facebook, and also it will be replayed on our website, so the links are always included there for you to get the replay. But the really cool thing is there's a full training video. This is just to touch base with you on Monday morning, get you going. But within an hour or so, this will be posted up as a replay. But we already have the full training video on the site on our Monday Motivation blog for you, so you can take advantage of that. We have a written blog post so that you can study up on what we're teaching here in the morning. So we're going with no more to do as we got started late because of a small technical difficulty. If you don't know me, Coach-Lew Braunstein, full spectrum life coach here in Orlando, Florida area, worldwide. Looking forward to connecting with you guys. So here we go on emotional endurance. You might ask, what is emotional endurance? A lot of us are familiar with physical endurance. You know, you work out and you build endurance so that you can keep going, or a runner runs further and further each week. Emotional endurance is that emotional gas, if you would, or emotional juice to push you through when you're tired, you're exhausted, and you cannot even fathom working anymore or pushing through more on a project or working through a tragic situation. When you're really out of gas and that's the toughest time and you need that push through, that's where your emotional endurance comes in. The other side, and there's a cutting edge side to emotional endurance, one of them is to bust through something that's holding you back and keep going when times get tough, and the other is to really accelerate stuff when things are good and you take it a huge jump to outstanding. So these are the important distinctions I want you to go in with, that emotional endurance isn't only for when all hell is breaking loose or everything's falling down on your shoulders. Emotional endurance is when you take good to excellent to outstanding just because you can, because you've got that extra energy. So emotional endurance and physical endurance are very similar in their properties and how they work. So emotional endurance, you build it. Physical endurance, you build it. And that's by practice, repetition, and pushing outside of your comfort zone. Both of them parallel there. The biggest difference is emotional endurance can happen a little bit quicker than physical. You might not, if you weigh 389 pounds, you may not be able to go out and run 7 miles today. You don't have the endurance for that yet. But you can quickly turn on emotional endurance and grow that in a day, in an hour, to a level that you've never had before, where physical endurance might take a little bit more time and training on that, if that makes sense. That's where they're not parallel necessarily. So I'm going to recap for you the past few sessions we've done, the past few productions. Really, when you go over to the website, make sure that you're going in order when you do these blogs. If this is your first time on board with me, go back to the first one. Go back to the introduction to Monday Motivation, Motivation 101, and carry on up to this, because we're going to build upon it each and every week. So I'm going to recap real quick, up to date, so that we're all on the same page, remembering that anything you want in life, if you want to break through something, you want something, you have a goal, an outcome, first thing you need is the vision. You got to see it. You got to clearly know your destination, what you're after. You got to map it or GPS it. You got to be ready and know how to get there. You got to plan it out. How am I going to daily, weekly, monthly, yearly get to where I'm going? And then really one of the most important things, you got to take action. You got to take that vision, know what you want, you got to know how you get in there, and then you've got to take massive, massive amounts of action to get there. And then you've got to review and readjust as you're going, because things change as a project grows, as you grow. So, and then you got to celebrate your wins, because you've got to feel it. You've got to bring it in here and feel really good about it. So the question is, when is the emotional endurance needed? Let's use an example. You set up a goal, you start out, you're excited about it, you map it out, it's feasible, you've got a plan, you're taking action, sometimes you're even ahead of the game, you're rocking and rolling, you're like, hey, I'm here, this is happening, and pow, you run into a wall. And it's like, oh, I didn't count on that. I didn't count on, my business hitting a government restriction we didn't count on, or a cash flow issue, or loss of a client, or, a relationship you didn't count on, something coming in that, derails where you're going with it. Or, something happens, you get in your car and some idiot drives into the back end of you and you don't make it to work today, and today was a very important day. That's when you need that emotional endurance to break through this stuff that either is a wall that you hit, or the other parallel with that is you're tooling along, you're really close to your goal or your outcome, whatever it is. It's not always goal. I mean, I don't, not everything in life is set up as a goal, although you should, a lot of the aspects of your life. And you're getting close, you're here. You're getting really close. That wall's not even there, but all of a sudden something's pulling you back. Outside factors are pulling you back, pushing you away from your goal, steering you off course all of a sudden, and you're so damn close, and you're like, come on already. That's where the emotional endurance comes in also. That endurance to say and realize that I've got to push through this, because there is one law of accomplishment, achievement that everybody forgets about. The closer you get to your goal, your accomplishment, the more resistance you're going to get, especially if it's a goal that's making you grow. And hey, the growth comes from the resistance. And it's a goal that you're contributing to society, contributing to your family, contributing to yourself, contributing to your maker, whatever it is. The more powerful the goal, the more opponents are going to show up near the end of it, near when you're getting the closest. When you're way off and you're not making a difference and you're just kind of starting out, nobody's going to push against you. Nothing's going to come and push against you. But that is a law of achievement. The closer you get, the tougher the resistance. So you know what the cool part of that is? Step up even stronger then, because you know you're right around the corner from success when the resistance gets tougher. And I know this takes emotional endurance. This is what I'm talking about. And how do we develop emotional endurance? We know we can go in the gym and go, building stronger shoulders, boom, building stronger biceps, building endurance out on the track or out on the trails running. We know how to do that. And hopefully everybody's doing that. Hint, hint. Being a health and fitness and life coach all the way around, yeah, hopefully you're taking care of your body, number one, because that will give you more emotional endurance. However, we know how to train the body, even if we're not doing it, and you should be. What we need to do is train ourselves to have that emotional endurance. And you go, how do you do this without the challenges coming along? You create the challenges. Create things, create goals that force you to grow. It's like a circle. Remember the circle? If you guys saw that movie, that was hysterical, but it's a circle. You got little problems in here, and you can handle this. This is what we call your sphere of influence. Pop, 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 problems come out here, and I really need to be able to do some graphics on these videos. So it's outside of your circle. If you continue to ignore those problems, they keep pop, pop, popping like popcorn. If you expand your circle to handle those problems or challenges, putting me right in there, I'm not your problem, guys, I'm your solution. So if you expand that circle to handle those challenges, you've grown. Your sphere of influence is larger. It doesn't shrink. You've already grown there. Oh, maybe you have a couple more problems or challenges. You handle them, but now you're pretty set. Your life is going good. How do you develop more emotional muscle? create some outside challenges that you make to really make this grand world, city, whatever around you, a great piece of your world. That's what we're after, is all of this. When you can handle all of this, you show up for your meeting. You show up in your relationship. You show up for a family member when they need something. You show up for a friend when they need something. You show up like this, not like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I don't know how I'm going to do this. That's emotional endurance, my friends. Develop it, work with it. If you need help with it, come coach with us. We can do that in person. We can do that via the internet. We can do it via phone. If you need help, we're there. Let's do this. Let's do some coaching. Find a coach, not just a friend to commensurate with that'll say, oh, I understand. It's No, you got to be held to a standard. And the cool thing is most of the time you can hold yourself to these standards. Sometimes you need help. Get a coach. Step up. Be happy to do that for you, or find one that melds with you really well. And, that's what it's all about, is building this emotional endurance. This emotional endurance muscle is going to carry you when the excitement of the initial decision going, yay, this is cool, I'm going to open this business. And then you're going, oh my God, I'm working 28 hours a day. That's what's going to pull you through that to the next level. Then, you're tooling along, you get to that next level, you're going great, and something hits you and derails you and takes you down at the knees, and you got to dust off, get up and go, I quit or I step up. Again, it's the emotional endurance that's going to make the difference there. And then when you're getting really close and you're pushing and you're getting that pushback, that emotional endurance is going to be what pushes that stopping block right out of your way. And I know I use metaphors and a lot of hand gestures. I am a Northeasterner originally, so I guess that comes from that. But the deal with this is, I'm excited about it. If I sit here and tell you, this is the stop to doing this, you're not going to listen. You're not going to get excited. You're not going to build the juice. I'm up at 4 a.m. on Monday morning and totally excited to come do this show for you. And not because of any other reason, except for my emotional endurance is great, especially at 4. By the time I'm doing this show, I'm awake. The coffee's kicked in. We're great. Coffee's good for you, by the way, if it's organic. Hint, hint. We'll talk more about that, too. So, April, and let me know how you guys feel about this. Please interact with me on this. I think April is going to be the month we really delve into some health and wellness for the month. In the meantime, this month, next week's show, we are going to do on pain versus pleasure for motivation. Those are the two driving forces of motivation, is pain and pleasure of anything you do, one or the other. And we're going to delve into that so that you understand what it takes to motivate you, the best way to motivate you, and how you use those two. Because let me tell you something, they are a paradox that fit right together. They're everything when it comes to how to drive you, how to motivate yourself, how to get shit done. So if you're with me on this journey, I welcome your comments, I welcome your requests, I welcome your questions. If you send me questions, I can always address them on an upcoming show. Make sure you click on the link to see the full training video on this, and let me know what you think, guys. Live with energy, passion, always live your dream. Lots of love. Coach-Lew signing out for the day. Have an awesome week and live with energy, passion, and always live your dream.